What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Let's see. All right, sound check sounds good. All right, so as for gappers, we have BBBY, which is Bed Bath and Beyond. It is gapping up from 12.26 to 13.39, so over $1. Looks like it's about $1.15, and so really nice move here. We'll see what we get. VERI also gapping up from 451 to 518. Looks like it's about a 68-cent move, 69-cent move, 70 cents, I guess. So it doesn't look bad either. VERI gapping up, Veritone. We also have AMD gapping down some after a red day yesterday. UXIN gapping up from 355 to 388. So gapping up 30-something cents. CGC gapping up some from 33.60 to 338. You can see UXIN here. AMD. CGC gapping up some. Twitter gapping up some as well with some above average volume for it. KBH looks good. Gapping up from 21.98 to 22.78. We have MU gapping down along with AMD. We have NBEV that looks pretty healthy. Gapping up to 611. Barely gapping up, but it has a small range regardless. Cron gapping down a small amount. The SPY overall is down. So we have a down move on the SPY. We'll see what we get today. Also showing up on my scanners, we have DWT gapping from 1042 to 1082. Is DWT an ETF? Yeah, DWT is an oil 3 times velocity share ETF. Interesting. Somebody mentioning SAEX. Really nice move for this one yesterday as well. I doubt it's tradable, but it looks good. No, it's not. UNG. Looks like United States Natural Gas. INPX. Look at INPX go. Wow. This one actually looks pretty good. I mean, some volume there for sure. Some old school stocks showing up here. GERN, TOPS, STOPS, SFET, HCLP. I mean, none of them really have good volume. DBVT, INSG. What's the symbol for Macy's, Netron? Yeah, SPY's down. Yeah, UXIN doesn't look bad. We'll look up the news in a minute. What's up, Two-Way? What's up, bro? There's the gap. Yeah, it's gapping down. The gap is gapping down, ironically enough. What's Macy's? Oh, Macy's is M. I knew it was, yeah, there you go, Biz. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Macy's taking a big hit. I don't know what Macy's going to do. Ultimately, I think with a lot of these big retail stores, I'm kind of short biased with them just because I think the internet's kind of making some of these stores obsolete. Like specifically JCPenney and maybe Macy's. I think Macy's may be a little bit healthier than JCPenney, but who knows, man? You know, let's see what JCP is at. Yeah. But I think, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think eventually they'll all be obsolete because of businesses like Amazon and stuff. What's up, Missouri? Good morning, man. John O, Kane, John Ennis. What's up, man? Netron, Luke, John O, Melanie. Good morning. Two Way, Biz, Cargo Ship. What's up, bro? Appreciate the sub, Patrick Shaw as well. Appreciate the sub. But yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond really taking a hit. Let's look up to see what's going on with this one. Yeah, but I don't know many that go to Macy's though. You know, like my wife doesn't like to go to Macy's. She goes to like Nordstrom or like a bunch of other stores. You know, I mean, she goes to Macy's sometimes, but she never really finds what she wants. You know. All right, weak holiday sales, which is kind of exactly what I was saying. So Macy's had lower holiday sales than expected. Shares went down 17% this morning. Yeah, the operator cut the same store sales forecast for the crucial holiday quarter due to weak demand during mid-December. Sales from Macy's stores and third-party licensees open for more than 12 months are now expected to grow about 2%, which is lower than the expected 2.3 to 2.5%. Yeah, so the holiday season began strong, specifically during Black Friday and the following Cyber Week, but weakened as time went on throughout December. And hurt sales for Macy's, so interesting here. I'm guessing the Gap is probably very similar results. I don't know if I'd consider her bougie. I don't know. What's up, Joe? What's up, brother? Good to have you here this morning, man. Stock futures were lower this morning after the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ notched their fourth positive straight session Wednesday. I thought the SPY was down yesterday, man. I mean, vaguely down, vaguely up. I mean, it surprisingly ended up yesterday. I didn't even look at it after I got out of that trade. Uh, but the SPY actually ended up barely. Like, let's see. It looks like it opened up at 62. It closed at 97. So, but green is good, I guess. Carisha. All right, green is green, man. That's what I'm saying. Sears. What's the symbol for Sears? I forgot it. Let me see. Sears is on the OTC market. Is that the same Sears? Oh no. Wait, let me see. Is this the same Sears that we all know in the OTC world? But yeah, UXIN is up. We'll look up the news on this, see what happened. It started to make a big push yesterday. Nothing really new coming out on this one. Yeah, man. What's up, Daniel? Good morning, man. Yeah, I believe it two-way. Sears is going down, and I can't. Macy's. I kind of feel like it's gonna go with it, but I don't know. So we'll see how that the third day of the opening range breakout goes. We've had 2 green days thus far with it. We'll see what we get today. It's down some from 2019 to 2086. KBH, KB Homes is gapping up some. Probably good earnings, I'm guessing. So KB is a home builder, which was, I guess, to be expected. It had good Q4 estimates. So it came out with a quarterly earnings of 96 cents per share, which beat the Zacks consensus estimate of 93 cents a share. It beat the earnings of 84 cents a share a year ago. So good earnings for KBH. What else do we have? We have Twitter up. So it sounds like analysts switched to a bullish sentiment from a bearish sentiment for Twitter. Yeah, Bank of America switched to a bullish from a bearish sentiment on social media, on the social media company. Yeah, so Bank of America upgraded Twitter to a buy. Gave it a $39 price target, which is 21 cents higher than where it's at now. Yeah, there's definitely been some good trade ideas for Twitter in the past. Twitter was really cheap, but I think that it's probably here to stay. It has this niche in the social media world. Sorry, Asher. I'll get a little bit closer to the mic. But yeah, INPX also looked good here. A lot of volume for INPX, so looking pretty good. All right, so INPX apparently is a indoor positioning and data analytics company, and it has an indoor positioning analytics, which is an IPA sensor 400 SE, and that sensor has been chosen to be used with development of a quote-unquote smart school safety network solution, giving schools situational awareness and communication tech. And so that's the news on INPX that's making it move up. Pretty big percentage gap up here from 328 to 450. So really big gap up here. We'll see where that one goes as well. We also have SAEX, which had a big move kind of yesterday. It's actually down some in pre-market today. But, you know, I do remember this stock. I've traded this stock a lot. Looks like it was halted yesterday. I filed for an offering of up to 794,182 shares of common stock. And I think it had, I don't know. Yeah, I just filed an offering. And so yeah, that's basically it today. Yeah, I can't trade INPX. Yeah, interesting, Carisha. That is interesting. What's up, Joe Stock Trader? What's up, bro? I'm checking out your channel right now, Joe Stock Trader. Do I think AT&T will continue on the way down? Yeah, everybody go check out Joe Stock Trader. He's got some videos. I just now noticed. I think MySpace is more like suited towards like music nowadays, John O. I think more people use it for like music, you know. I remember MySpace back in the day. You know, I grew up, I was like a teenager in the MySpace world where everybody was using MySpace. We had like the profile song and all that stuff. I remember that. MySpace was kind of cutthroat though, man. They made you rate your friends for everybody to see. It was terrible, man. What's up, Dex? What's up, bro? Is it really, Carisha? It was kind of it was kind of broad what it could mean. You know, I didn't know what it meant either. Is that really what it is? That's interesting if it is. Fossil down. Somebody's asking what's my strategy. I mean, I have a few of them. Let me see if I can find some examples of them. Alright, here's a good example on NBEV. So I essentially look for a big drop at the open, like so. Like if you look at NBEV here, I look for like a big drop at the open. A pullback to the VWAP, which is this purple line here. and that's where I get in short with a tight risk of support. A lot of times it's from pre-market here. Like this level I could have used as my risk, and then my reward level would be down here, and then I would get in short at the VWAP, ride it down, take a partial at the low of the day, which would be right here, and then try to let the rest work. And this is a trade I did on NBEV, but yeah, it's the VWAP fade is what it is. So big downward move, bounce back to the VWAP, get in short there, tight risk, big reward, take a partial at the low of the day. The other strategy I use is the opening range breakout. Like I'm testing it on AMD right now. And you just wait for this first candle to form a range on a 5-minute chart. And then wait for it to break this range, giving yourself a 1-to-1 reward to risk. So I get in at the break, set a risk level down here, try to get a 1-to-1, which would be up here, which I did yesterday, and then take a partial there and let the rest work up until about noon, unless it stops me out breaking under my entry level for break even. Vaguely, Joe. Sorry, bro. We get a lot of people in the chat, so if I vaguely remember it. So they're going to give students bracelets and then track them. Huh, Carisha? What's up, Felix? Good morning, man. Nice, Joe. Hey, good work, bro. Good work, man. Yeah, they took UXIN off, which I'm kind of bummed out about. Yeah, I don't know if I love that idea either, Carisha. It sounds a little strange, you know. Kind of bummed out I can't trade VERI. UXIN used to be tradable on TEFs as well, but now it's not. But VERI looked good. It's kind of what I look for with the fade. I look for an overextended gap and then the fade. I think it works better with that. I'll be right back in like a minute, guys. Give me like 1 minute. What's up, Eric? Good morning, man. What's up, Abby? Good morning. Bamboo. What's up, guys? I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, Joe. Later, bro. Yeah, what's up, Daniel? Yeah, I'm in Texas, bro. I'm not from Texas, but I live in Texas. What's up, JR? Yeah, for sure, Carisha. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm like north of Houston. All right, Joe. Have a good day, bro. I don't know, man. Where are you guys at? I mean, I'm down to have a get together one day, bro. But yeah, look at Bed Bath and Beyond. I'll just say it though. I hate this store because my wife drags me there and looks at candles all day. But up a decent amount. Kind of pulled back some from its highs. I think it was good earnings, if I can remember correctly. Julius, what's up, bro? Question: how do you backtest stocks for the open range breakout? So like, let me pull it up. I'll try to pull it up. Hold on one second. All right, so this is kind of what I do with it. Like yeah, I bet Martin. So this is what I do with it. Like I give myself a success and a failure point for the opening range breakout, right? Like I give myself a success and a failure point, and then I go back in time and I kind of just look at every day. And if it reaches that success point, I mark it as a success, which I put a 1 here just to save time. And then if it fails and it never reaches that success point and it hits my risk, I give it a 0. And so at the end of that, with AMD, eventually it gives me a percentage of how many times it was successful. In this case, over a 3-month time span on AMD, it had 47 successful instances and then 15 fails, giving me a 76% accuracy rate. And then I did it with the continuation, which was 60%, which it continued in the breakout direction for the rest of the day. And then I did one where it continues in the breakout direction up until 12 p.m. market time, and that gave me 66%. So that's really the one I'm testing, is continuing in the same direction up until 12 p.m. market time, because it gives me much better reward to risk than the 1-to-1 that the opening range breakout kind of organically gives you. But yeah, UXIN up. KBH, which is a home builder, is up. Yeah, we'll see what the opening range breakout gives me today. Since I started testing it, I haven't had one losing day on it. We'll see what we get. Yeah, I saw DCIX two-way up I saw it pop up on the scans here. DCIX is up from about 80 cents or so up to $1.23, so a pretty big move for DCIX. If I can remember correctly, it's a shipping company. I remember DCIX kind of going crazy. Like if you look at the daily chart, this thing's gone crazy before. Definitely a previous runner. Twitter, like I said, is up some. AMD down, but definitely going to be watching that one. And overall, the SPY, we'll see what we get today. It's getting pretty close to those levels that we talked about. I think it's going to start coming back sometime, but it's just about when. Yeah, IMPX, I'm definitely watching that one too. It's not tradable, but it looks good. You know, it's gapping up. This thing must have had a split recently because look at the drop. Wow, this one did drop some. Thing just dropped about 40 cents or so in the last 4 minutes. Yeah, VERI looks good too. I saw VERI. It's not tradable, unfortunately. Some stocks on this broker just aren't tradable. Most of the time, they're cheaper stocks, like under $5. GSUM gapping up with lower volume, though. PRPO, I remember PRPO as well. It's gapping up nicely. It's a penny stock, not going to be tradable for me, but it looks good. Testing that pre-market high right now. So it looks pretty good on that end. AMRN, I don't really like trading AMRN. It's just never been that reliable for me, but it's gapping up some. Had a big green day yesterday. Moved up from about 14 all the way to 15.50s. It's at 15.30 now in pre-market, but it's gapping up from about $15, so up about 30 cents or so. QQQ. What's up, Isaac? Good morning, man. I need a haircut, you know. All right, but yeah, watching AMD, BBBY, UXIN, VERI. We got about 5 minutes until the open, so let's start to get ready. NBEV looks okay as well. It's just got a tight range on it. It's about break even right now in pre-market. And so I'm watching NBEV as well. Cron too. Cron has a little bit lower volume though. Lower volume relative to how much it usually does. But yeah, KBH, looking at that one. At IHD up. STZ Constellation Brands is up as well. Gonna look at MU too. It's a microchip stock, so it kind of follows. What's up, T America? CGC as well, a cannabis stock, cannabis growth company. It is gapping up some. Looked strong originally. It kind of pulled back some in pre-market, but it had a good green day yesterday for CGC. MGEN gapped up some, but the volume's just really, really low, so I don't like that one as much. Target, what's up, Cody? What's the name for Target? Hey, I guessed it right. Look at that, man. I had no idea, to be honest. I guessed it right. So yeah, Target is down some. Bad earnings. Yeah, it's down about $2.25. Ah. Alright, guys, we got 3 minutes. 3 minutes until the open. SOXS popping up on my scanners. I know this is an ETF. I think I gotta remember what kind of ETF this is, but I know it's an ETF. But yeah, we'll see what the SPY does today. Alright, guys, we got about 2 minutes. Two minutes, guys. LJPC. Gapping up some. Let's see if this one's tradable. I doubt it, but it is. Cool. Alright, LJPC. I'll watch this one too. It's a pharmaceutical company. But it's getting a little bit of volume, LJPC. It's getting some volume. It's up to 638, gapping up about 30 cents or so. All right, guys, we got about a minute left, so let's get ready. Like I said, I'm testing the opening range breakout again today. We'll see what we get. 2 green days thus far, but got to be objective with it. Gonna use the same share size of 1,000 shares, and we'll see what we get today. What's up, Fetty? Good morning, man. To see if it's tradable, I just go to the trade manager and I type it in. Under is tradable, it'll say Y if it's tradable. All right, let's get the intraday scanners up. We got the high of the day scanner breaking out on volume. Massive volume, low float. So good luck, guys. We got 40 seconds. Bell's coming up soon. What's up, Enduro? What's up, bro? There's the bell. All right, good luck, all. Let's do this. Of course, Adam. No stress, bro. All right, we got AMD dropping some right at the bell. We got DCIX and INPX popping up on the scanners here. AMD kind of a big drop there. I'm also looking at the 1 minute range breakout and kind of testing that simultaneously with AMD. All right, we got Bed Bath & Beyond moving up, BBBY. We got CGC really taking a hit here, dropping some. Big drop for CGC. May see some of these other cannabis stocks drop. Yeah, we got NBEV dropping, Cron both dropping. So gonna look for some fades with these. Let's see what the SPY's doing. SPY's kind of sideways. Some wicks for the SPY. INPX moving up some. AMD I'm looking at 66 entry with a fade level of maybe 72, 73, but I think realistically 77 is probably the safest bet for about a 10-cent risk. I could also, yeah, I think 77 is reasonable here. Maybe 80. Let's see what the risk would be and the reward. So about 10-cent risk here. Big reward. So that's not looking bad on AMD for a fade. SPY very sideways right now. Very, very sideways move for the SPY. Let's look what a 5-minute candle's looking like on AMD. I don't hate a fade here on AMD with entry of 60 with a risk of about 78 or so. Big drop. The reason I'm starting not to like the range breakout for this one is because the first candle's really big, so it's hard to get that full 1-to-1 reward to risk on it unless it starts bouncing. But AMD dropping significantly here. SPY may be starting to move up some. Nice charts. You getting that 1-minute range breakout, bro? On AMD. Looks like it would have worked. Looking at a risk level of 73 now. If it gets back up to the VWAP. About a 17-cent risk. 18-cent risk. CGC would have had a nice fade there. SPY dropping some now. Alright, so we have this first 5-minute candle for the range breakout. I think I'm going to have to lower the shear size relative to how big the first candle is. I don't think I can take every one with 1,000 shares. I've been thinking of that. And so I think I'm going to try 500 shares with this one. Just because the first candle's twice as big as it typically is. And I think that's something I need to do, is kind of adjust the share size according to how big that first candle is. And since we got a really big first candle on AMD, I got to be careful with it and not use the same share size for all of it. If that makes sense. '20s. Spike up, never broke that low. Spot bouncing here. We should see some bounce back moves on AMD, I would think. Twitter back up to the VWAP here. But not really a big enough down drop. It would be more of a rejection. Look at NBEV. Wow. NBEV just been dropping. SPY starting to reverse. I would like a fade on NBEV or on AMD here. Like if you see here, it doesn't look like a bad fade, but if the market starts to reverse and head back up and break highs, I don't want to risk that. But I could use a tight risk of 62 or so, giving me a 12-cent risk on AMD. I don't hate it. It just depends on what the SPY does here. Wait. What's wrong with my tests? There we go. I don't know what was going on with it. Yeah, I'm just looking at the SPY, Todd. The SPY is moving up. It's kind of sideways right now, but it definitely had a big pullback here. And so I don't hate a fade on AMD depending on what the SPY does if it gets up to 1950 or so. Yeah, I don't hate that idea, Daniel. You know, I'd be down for that. All right, SPY heading back down now. I mean, AMD just never would have given me the entry. I was looking to get into it on TEFs here for the fade, and it just never quite got that high. CGC actually doesn't look bad for a fade here. Look at CGC. It's right up there. Risk level would have to be at 37 or so. It's just about what kind of risk I want to give myself in this one. I think 50 cents or so. Let's see, 37. Yeah, 50 cents or so. Or 50 shares or so on CGC. It just depends here. It's got a tight risk of about 34. I guess I could use 100 shares now with that risk. Kind of a big spread though on this one. SPY sideways right now though. We'll see what we get. I don't like it now with the SPY pushing back up here. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for it to break this range. It still hasn't broken it yet. It tested it once here, which gives it a little bit bigger support and resistance there. Glad I was paying attention to the SPY because the SPY bounced back, which would have made CGC a little bit worse. Now I'm gonna move back on to AMD. SPY sideways still though. That might be bad news for AMD, Lewis. SPY back down. SPY very choppy right now. Very, very choppy. Yeah, but I mean, the SPY is the market. So, like, AMD's down, but the SPY is sideways, so the SPY is the market, I think. SPY coming back down. no idea what you're saying, guy above John. ACB. Yeah, CGC looks like a washout long now. I think it just depends on what the SPY does. Appreciate the sub, Jury. Appreciate the sub, Jerry, man. Welcome, bro. Appreciate it. It's something like that, Isaac. Or it's something like that, Netron. What's up, Jury? Yeah, welcome, brother. Just gotta wait for the SPY to pick a direction a little bit, I think. Look at Kron go. Kron had a washout long, too. Kron had a nice first fade. That first fade on Kron was pretty. But look at ACB go. Yeah, ACB, CGC both looking like washout longs here. I mean, I'm kind of looking at AMD for a fade. The only problem is the risk reward is just not that good anymore. You know, you got a 45-cent entry, risk level of 62 cents. And so almost 20 cent risk. And then 45 down to 20 would be a 25-cent reward. So it's not quite the risk reward I'm really looking for. Not unless I can get in at 50 maybe with a risk of 60, 62. So 10 cent risk, 12 cent risk, and then same thing down to 20, 25 cent reward. So I don't hate that one at 50 for AMD. But we'll see if it gets up there. It may not actually get up there. And the SPY's dropping, so I doubt it'll get up there now. But AMD just following this, still in this opening range now. Still gotta wait for it to break that range. Yeah, I do. I trade live every day, Jury. Every market day, I go live. So I day trade live on stream every market day. All right, looks like we might actually get a break under this opening range here on AMD. Looking for it. We'll see what the SPY does here, though. AMD kind of would have been a fade, but down to 20. All right, so I'm in. It broke that range on AMD. Let's see what we get. Like I said, looking for a 1-to-1 here. So 1920 up to about 1980 would be 60 cent range, 60 cent reward target. So looking for 1860 is what I'm looking for on AMD. Kind of a big range though, like I said, so it's kind of so and so. SPY rebounding. So Zimmy on Thinkorswim, I'm paper trading because I'm back testing and I'm testing the opening range breakout. And so yeah, I'm just testing it right now. Testing this opening range breakout play. But on TEFs, it's real money. It's just I don't see anything I like that much right now. Kind of waiting for an entry with some of these. A lot of stuff has moved up. Yeah, ACB kind of looked like a washout long setup. I'm not really seeing any fades. I saw one fade on Kron today, but aside from that, Mitch, I'm not seeing that many of them today. It's just about what we get today, whether this is going to be successful. You know, if we get a choppy day on the SPY, this probably won't be a success. But if we get a big downward move, then it will. So it's just about what we get today. Nice, Lewis. Welcome back, brother. SPY dropping back down. SPY down to 255.80s. Down to the 70s now. While we're here, if anybody's interested in using TradeNet is having their New Year's sale going on right now, where you get 20% off the intro package, and so it's a pretty good deal, I think. Really, you know, the intro package typically $500, and you get a $700 max loss, and so with the 20% off sale, you get the intro package for $400. And you know you're essentially getting $700 to lose, and so you're getting an extra $300 to lose. And so if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, which is TradeNet, it's the broker on the left side here. Go check this link out. It gets you 20% off. I make a commission from it. It's one of the ways we always keep this live stream free. So go check it out if you're interested in signing up and you want to help support the channel. Yeah, we'll just see if the SPY picks a direction here and isn't so choppy. It's down to the 70s. I look at it on the 1 minute just to see what the moves. 1 minute and 5 minute is what I look at the SPY on. It's on my. It's right next to me right now. It's down to the 70 level, trying to break into the 60s. It looks like. Like I said, though, it's got to pick a direction. AMD doesn't look terrible. It's just the risk is not going to be as good. The risk to the reward is not going to be as good. Did my headphones just die? I think they did. Let me see. Alright, so SPY down to the 60s again. Yeah, my batteries are dying on my headphones. Yeah, no stress, Tiny. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the SPY here. I'm looking for the SPY to make a downward move now because most stocks follow the market, especially AMD. And so, you know, I'm looking for the SPY to keep dropping here. But let's see what we get. What's up, Dylan? All right, down to 1914. Might get a bounce here on AMD now that the SPY is bouncing back up. Yep. We'll see how big this bounce is on the SPY. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the cannabis stocks move up. CGC, specifically, Cron, NBEV is down, but ACB, Cron, CGC, they're all up. Looking for some fades, too. I'm just not seeing any right now. Maybe MU, maybe. MU's kind of sideways, though. Down to tens. Nines. Eights. Yeah, it's dropping some. It's just about, at this point, this is the thing, right? With such a huge range for that first 5 minute candle, the reward target's looking not unreasonable, but it's kind of it's still got a long way to go. AXSM, what's that one doing? Oh yeah, look at those fades, man. Oh, I missed this one. Beautiful fade on AXSM too. Down to the 19s on the SPY. Yeah, I mean, I think Mark was talking about the fade here. Look at the beautiful fade on AXSM right here. Perfect. Yeah, maybe a little too much down now. All right, AMD dropping more here. Down to the 1890s. Got about 30 cents to go. Yeah, I don't think DCIX is tradable. But yeah, it wasn't a terrible one there. Look at Twitter drop. Look at this drop on Twitter, man. Big drop. Kind of a rejection there. And look at MU kind of fading a little bit there as well. It's just kind of tough to get it with all that chop. Another thing I wanted to start testing on AMD was how often it continues in the breakout direction without hitting your entry again. You know? Maybe a little bit, definitely lower accuracy, but and if Twitter gets back up there, I don't hate it. What's up, Addedly? Long time no see. I mean, right now, Adam, I'm just gonna hold it because it's I'm testing it right now, and so I'm just kind of testing it right now to see if it's gonna keep going. The idea is just to hold it until it hits your risk level, and so I'm just gonna keep holding it until it triggers the risk area on this one, and just to see what we get here. If I was using real money, I don't know. It's kind of the whole point of trading it like this is just to see how I should approach it with real money. See if I should continue to do what I do with real money or if I should kind of change the strat a little bit. No stress charts. What happened, bro? Oh, don't stress it, man. Listen, bro, you're doing well, man. Yesterday you did well charts, so don't stress it, brother. ACB back to the VWAP. Maybe a VWAP bounce here for ACB. I'm kind of looking at Twitter too. Got about 30 more cents to move for this strat to be successful on AMD. 65 or so. It's about 25 cents. SPY rebounding some, so we might get a bounce back on AMD now. And I don't know if I want to approach this, like if it breaks my entry, it's time for me to get out now, or like how to approach it here. The goal is to just let it work, so I'm just going to let it go to the risk. But maybe in the future, if it gives me a big down move and then the SPY starts to reverse, maybe kind of set a break-even target after it gives me a certain amount, but we'll see. Yeah, looking at the SPY. Yeah, I mean, I'm testing the opening range breakout Netron, so I'm just testing it to see how well it's working and the accuracy rate with paper trading. And so at this point, I'm testing it. But yeah, I'm short. I got in after it broke that opening range candle at around 17 or 20 or so. So that's what I'm testing at this point. SPY bouncing back some though. Don't see that many fades. I'm kind of the only one I'm really kind of looking at is Twitter. If it gets up to 3280 or 3290 or so, that's the only one I'm kind of looking at. Oh yeah, for sure. There's opening range with a lot of them addedly. I also tested the 1 minute opening range and had pretty good results. Let me see if I could pull up those results. Yeah, it gave me a 77% accuracy rate for the 1 minute opening range breakout. But the way I approached that one when I was back testing it is I trade in the opposing direction of the gap. So like if AMD gapped up over 20%, over 20 cents in either direction, I would trade it on the opposite side. So like if it gapped down 20 cents, I would trade it long. And if it gapped up 20 cents, I would trade it short. Waiting for it to break that high. And so that's kind of what I did with it when I tested the 1 minute opening range. Don't stress it, Isaac. Green is green, brother. See if the SPY fades here. But yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of testing it now. The SPY's starting to run up, and so it may not be the best time for it right now. We'll see if the SPY fades off the VWAP or not, but if the SPY starts to squeeze up, I'll probably get out. Just depends. I want to be as honest as I can with the test, and so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way, Jay Hopper. Like with real money, especially, like I almost exclusively trade VWAP plays. But yeah, look at the SPY here. SPY starting to squeeze up some. Over the VWAP now, so we should start seeing some moves here. I think the way I'll probably approach this is like I'll hold it to my risk unless the SPY breaks the high of the day. If the SPY breaks the high of the day, that's going to be my cue to get out of it. And I think that's a reasonable approach from it, trading it off of the SPY. Mitch is at work, addedly. So yeah, he's working right now. So I'm just going to document this, kind of my plan with these. Just so people can see. So I kind of document what I'm planning on doing. Oh, wait. So hold to risk unless SPY breaks the opposing high or low is how I think I should approach it. Zach Morris, man. Hey, bro, I loved your show, man. I love Saved by the Bell, dude. Yeah, SPY's back near high of the day. Like I said, that's why I think a reasonable way to approach this is like continue to hold it until my risk, unless the SPY breaks the high of the day. If the SPY breaks the high, that's when I'm going to jump out. And I think that's a reasonable way to approach it, basing it off of what the SPY does and what the overall market does, giving myself the smallest risk I can relative to how much reward target I'm looking for in the trade. Sorry, Zach, I was just kind of messing with you, brother. What's up, Two-Way? Welcome back, bro. SPY pulling back some, but the SPY already looked pretty strong here. Yeah, double top on SPY. Maybe. Not quite. Close, though. I bet, Zach. I bet you do, man. You know, a funny Facebook page is Zach Morris's Trash. One of my favorite shows to watch. Alright, SPY pulling back some. It's giving me some downward momentum on AMD. Like I said, I'm still kind of looking for some fades here. I'm not seeing that many. I haven't seen as many fades in the market overall as I had previously. Nice, Houston. Congrats. You're killing it. Alright, SPY starting to break back under the VWAP here, so it may just kind of be a sideways choppiness action on the SPY. VERI popping up on the scanners. Yeah, VERI kind of a washout long. A lot of these are following the SPY. But yeah, I just haven't seen that many fades to take advantage of. Maybe CGC for a bounce. Maybe. Also, guys, shout out to Trade Ideas for being cool enough to allow me to stream these scans every day. Really cool company, allows me to stream their scans to all my viewers. And so go check out Trade Ideas. They make my morning much, much easier and really easy to kind of find what's moving in the market. So I'll post Trade Ideas link here. Go check them out. Twitter, I was thinking, I didn't enter Twitter, but I was thinking about getting in right around the VWAP for a fade. It just depends, though. You know, it depends on what the SPY does. It depends on what all of this, like what happens in the market. SPY bouncing off of the VWAP here. What do you guys think about that? I mean, the whole point of trading it like this is to get ideas about the strategy to see how I should approach it. I think a reasonable way to do it is to hold it to my risk unless the SPY breaks in the opposing direction, like the high or low of the day in the opposing direction. So like I can hold it to my risk unless the SPY breaks on the upside at this point. If the SPY breaks on the upside, it's kind of my cue to get out. If it stays below the high of the day at this point, I can stay in the trade unless it triggers my risk. And so I think that's a reasonable way to approach it. Not on taps, no. I'm looking for fades. I just didn't see any fades, honestly. The only fade I saw, which looked decent, was AWSX. Or no, what was it? Somebody mentioned it earlier. Let me know if you remember what move we were talking about earlier. I can't think of it. Somebody might be able to. It was moving the last few days. No, AXSM. Appreciate it, Paul. That was it. Yeah, AXSM had a nice fade. This is about the only one that I saw, though. The rest of them looked so-so. Macy's dropping back again. Yeah, Macy's had a little rejection here. Pretty rejection right here. Yeah, it was a decent fade for AXSM. Kind of looks like a fade on the 5-minute chart for AMD, but with the SPY moving up, I don't trust it as much. I'm pretty sure I can. I know I could the other day, Pat. Yeah, I could short it if I wanted to. CGC had a nice bounce. I was looking at it on CGC for this bounce play, and it bounced really nicely thus far off the VWAP here. Keto success. Don't try to impress me. Yeah, bro. No worries, Isaac. Or no worries, two-way. Twitter getting back up there. All right, the SPY's at 256.27 here. We'll see what it does. I'm still going to hold it unless I'm either holding it to my risk or I'm holding it until the SPY breaks the high. I think that's a reasonable way. So it just depends on what the SPY does here. SPY's starting to push. Do I think trading with a small account is as good as paper trading to learn? I think it's actually better to learn just because I think that you're using real money, and so you have that real emotion that you get that you don't really get from paper trading. Hey, appreciate it. Wake up. No stress. I appreciate it, Sandra. I appreciate the support. All right, SPY's about to break the high of the day, so this is where I got to be careful. If the SPY starts to break here, I'm going to get out. You know, I'll let it test, but if it breaks, I got to get out. Looking strong. Yeah, 100%. It's way better, even if you're using small size with real money, just because the emotions are going to be real, which is not something you really get with paper trading, you know? Twitter up there. Just where's my risk on Twitter? I would have to be at 33.10, and so it's about a 22-cent risk. 31.12, really. It just depends on what the SPY does here as well, though. Big reward, though. What did this Twitter do? Twitter gap up. Okay. I tested it. I don't know if it broke. It came close. Looks like it's about to break it now, though. Because if this level holds, it looks a lot better. It's just about whether the SPY breaks it or not. I'll let it test it. I mean, even this is a big level for AMD, though, is this 40 level. I think Charts was talking about it. This 1940 level is a big level as well. So the SPY's trying, but it still hasn't broken it quite clean enough for me to get worried about it. SPY back down to the 30s. We should get a pullback here. That's why I said it tested the high of the day. I don't know if it actually broke it because the high of the day would be right here at 49. And so it tested it. I don't know if it actually broke it. Because really the goal of this strategy is to let it work until noon, as long as it doesn't hit the risk. And so it just depends on what the SPY does. Like if the SPY's choppy and comes back down, then I'm still okay in it. But if the SPY breaks the high and looks strong, I got to get out. Yeah, for sure. DC. SPY dropping back down. It's got to really get under 256 though on the SPY. What is PHUN, Elizabeth? I asked you. I know you commented in the chats. What is PHUN? But yeah, as for fades, I just haven't seen like AXSM was the only fade I see that was good today. Look at the second fade though on it. Not quite a fade. Didn't quite get there, but looked pretty. AMRN. Somebody said it was getting pumped up today. Yeah, look at this move. Very similar move to the SPY. All right, so yeah, there's the SPY coming back down, which is why I want to let the SPY test the high of the day. I think it's a reasonable way to approach it. And so we're looking pretty good now, really. Jury, so no, not really, Clay. I use mostly just support and resistance areas. Jury said, I joined your chat a bit late. Can you summarize what you were testing on the SPY with AMD? I'm fairly new to trading world. Yeah, so I'm testing the opening range breakout right now, Jury. So like I document the high and low of this first candle on a 5-minute chart with AMD. And then I get in when it breaks the low or high of that first 5-minute candle. Like in this case, I got in when it broke this level at 1920, which I got a really good entry at right around 1920. And then, you know, a risk level of up here. But what I'm doing now is I'm kind of correlating it with the SPY. Like if the SPY looks strong and breaks the high of the day, I'll get out a little bit early with my risk. But as long as the SPY doesn't break the high of the day, I can kind of stay in it and let it work until it reaches my risk level. I back tested it. It had really good results from back testing, and so now I'm just kind of paper trading it to see how well it's ultimately going to do and kind of get used to trading it with entries and exits and stuff like that. All right, Joe, have a good day, brother. Appreciate you joining us today, man. Why is this January so slow compared to the previous several Januaries? I think it's just the market, man. I think the market has kind of turned back around a little bit, and with that, it's just not as strong, as previous winter months. I think usually winter months are pretty decent, but since the SPY kind of took a hit in the last few months, that I think it's kind of slowing everything else down. Most stocks follow the overall market, and so with the SPY taking a hit, I think it's just kind of slowing everything down. Ramsha, so yeah, I could tell you about it. So it's kind of like I said, right? Like I'm looking at on AMD here. Let me clear some of this out. So yeah, like the way I do it is like I give it a success point and a failure point. Success point, depending on which way it breaks, the success and failure point are opposite. So like since it broke on the downside, the success point would be the equivalent of this first red candle, which is about 50 cents. So I would be 50 cents down, or not 50 cents. Let's see, 82. This is a 1 minute chart. Hold on, let me get a 5 minute chart out. Yeah, so entry is 1920, risk is 1983, so it's about 60 cents. So my success point is 60 cents down, so from 1920 down to, what would that be, 1860 would be my reward target. And so my success level would be down here at 1860, right here. My risk levels, they're giving me a 1-to-1 on this type of trade. And so I basically look back in time, document the high and low of the first 5 minute candle, and see how many times it gets to my reward target. If it gets to my reward target, I would tally it as a success, and if it breaks my risk, I would tally it as a failure. And so I just kind of go back in time and look at those levels and just, tally up how many times it worked versus how many times it did not work. If it works, I give it a success point. And if it fails, I give it a failure point. And then I kind of go back in time, tally them all up, and then it gives me the accuracy rate of that strategy. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And then I'm kind of correlating it with how the SPY acts right now. Like if the SPY breaks the high of the day, then I can get out of it a little early, and that's kind of the point. Yeah, I'm not in Twitter, Isaac. That's what the SPY bouncing back made me not want to get in Twitter. I saw it moving, but the SPY breaking that high of the day was kind of when or the SPY moving back up like it did made me not like the fade as much. SPY's kind of sideways right now. Ramshot, I mean, I kind of just look at reliability, volume. Like the reason I like AMD is because it's pretty reliable. Like it typically has good volume throughout most of the day, and so it's easy to test. Since it kind of moves in a reliable way, I would consider almost every day. Then, like I said, it's just easier to test. SPY back up. SPY getting close here. See if we get a triple top on the SPY. Okay. That's my cue to get out. So the SPY broke the high of the day, and so that's kind of my cue to get out of it. So $65 loss, tiny loss. I'm definitely fine with that. And so now I could just have to document what's going on with the strategy. That's the first losing day I've had with it, so it's still fine. So I hope you guys can see how I'm kind of testing it. All right, so right now my entry would have been 1920. Results, loss, amount, $65. All right, so far we've had 2 red days, or 2 green days, and 1 red with this move. And now with the SPY moving back, I'm pretty happy with the exit. Mostly jury. I'm only testing it for AMD. And so, that's what I'm mostly testing it for is AMD. I like AMD. I think it's reliable. It typically has really good volume every day. And so it's easy to test. Now, when I back tested it, the stock I back tested it on was AMD. And, with the SPY moving like it is now, breaking that high of the day, I think this was a reasonable way to approach it. And like I said, it's kind of the point of me testing it like this is to find these little nuances in the trade that are going to help me not only maximize my reward in the trade, but minimize my risk. And I think that's a reasonable way to approach it. And it'll kind of show me whether this was the right way about what AMD does for the rest of the day. Like if AMD turns around and continues going and it reaches my reward target, I can kind of say, okay, well, it was a good idea, but it may be actually better just to let it go all the way to my wrist to keep it easier. And so it just depends on how the stock acts the rest of the day, which is really correlated with what the SPY does at this point. Like AMD starting to move back up, the SPY starting to move back up, and so I think it makes sense to approach it that way, but it's all just in the process of testing it like I'm doing. That's the whole goal of testing it, is to get data from this strategy to see when it's going to work, what I should approach it with, how I should approach it. So there's 2 things to take from it today with back testing. The first thing is that if this first 5-minute candle is ridiculously large, I need to scale down in sizing, because the whole goal is to find a consistent risk and reward area, to try to keep my wins about the same and my losses about the same. And so that's the goal. And so first thing to take away from today is that if this first candle is I would probably say over 40 cents, then I need to size down. If the candle was less than 40 cents, I can use the regular 1,000 shares like I was planning on doing. And I think that makes sense as well. But really, to do that, I have to kind of analyze what the previous moves that I got in were. 30 cents. $0.50. Maybe use 50 cents as a reasonable way to approach it. 44 cents. Yeah, I love AMD, man. AMD's like my baby, And like I said, if AMD drops now and it would have been a successful trade, then I can say, like I said, okay, well, the idea was good, but it actually would have been better if I would have just held it to my reward target, which in this case is 1860. And so we'll see what we get. The SPY moved up, but maybe AMD doesn't follow the SPY as close as I'm looking for. SPY's running into resistance here. So you can see this line I drew previously on the SPY, and you can see exactly where the stock goes up to and then has trouble breaking. And so nice 2-way, good work, bro. And like I said, if anybody's interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, which is TradeNet, you can check out the link I'm posting in the chat. They have their 20% off New Year's sale going on right now, so you're actually getting TradeNet packages for pretty cheap. All the packages are 20% off, I believe. If not, it's just the intro package. I'll have to check, but 20% off, so you usually spend $500 on it. With the sale, you're spending $400, and with the intro package, you're getting $700 to lose, so really you're getting an extra $300. The reason I like TradeNet is because they have cheap commissions for small sizing. Like if I use less than 300 shares, my commissions are about $3 or $4 for a complete round trip. It's a really cheap commissions. Plus, I can short anything that's actually tradable on there, and so it's kind of the perfect broker for me. Biggest flaw with TradeNet is that some penny stocks, most penny stocks I would say, are not tradable, and so if you like to just trade penny stocks, it's probably not the right broker for you. But I usually make it work and find lots of stocks over $5 to trade, and so I just posted the link. If you're interested in using them, you can check them out. I make a commission from it. It's one of the ways I keep the stream free, and so if you want to help support the channel and you're interested in signing up, you can go check out the link I posted. It depends on the size, Paul. So like if you're using less than 300 shares, commissions are about $3 to $4 for a round trip. The size exactly is about 0.0075 cents per share, and so it just depends. Like if you're using 1,000 shares, commissions are going to be about $12. $12 for a round trip. But if you're using small size, commissions are much cheaper. Yeah, SPY running up, breaking that high. Another one I'm kind of looking at, volume's kind of low for an actual trade, is LJPC. Had a red day, but if it pulls back to 610, I could set a 620 risk, and then I could set a reward target of at least down to 590, giving me 2-to-1 reward to risk. A risk of 10 cents, a reward target of 20 cents, and so 2-to-1 if it gets back up to 610, which is kind of a big if, but we'll see what we get there. A lot of times, yes, Jury. If you want to give me an example of a stock, I can check to see if it's tradable for you, but a lot of times you can. Yeah, so anything that I can trade, I can short. A lot of times cheaper stocks are not tradable, like stocks under $5, penny stocks, CLPS. I doubt it. This one is under $5, so most stocks under $5 you can't trade. I can check it though. No, so I can't trade that one. But if it's over $5, that's kind of when what I look for. The big thing is like volume. So since CLPS has had really low volume, most of the time these really low volume stocks aren't tradable. VERI isn't either. Although they might add VERI. Like out of my watch list today, like let's see. AMD was tradable, BBBY was tradable, Cron tradable, MU, NBEV is tradable, CGC, LJPC, which is the one I'm looking at, is tradable. But yeah, the reason VERI isn't tradable is because it was under $5 before yesterday. And that's kind of what I said. They may add it, but no, that one's not. Right, that's what I was saying, Paul. Like a lot of times if a stock gaps up and has a lot of momentum and moves, then they'll add it to their system. Like a good example is AXSM. I think it was AXSM. Now that one's tradable, which is actually right back up to the VWAP here. I don't know if I like it. I would have to set a risk of 670 or 680 or so. It's all dependent. Yeah, ACB is, Cody. It all depends, Jury. Some stocks are, some stocks aren't. But yeah, ACB is tradable. Yeah, I mean, there's no PDT rule on TradeNet jury, so like on TEFs, which is TradeNet's broker. So like, there's no PDT rule, so I can trade as much as I want on there. Um, like what they usually do is like if a stock has a big day, like VERI, they'll usually add it to their system the next day. Is from what I see. I kind of echo what Paul says. So like it all depends, right? Like if a stock has a big day, a lot of volume, a lot of eyes are watching it, they'll add it to their system. If a stock has low volume, most of the time it's not going to be tradable. And so it all just depends. But yeah, ACB is tradable, Cody. And like I said, I'm kind of looking at LJPC. If it gets up to 609, I don't think it's terrible. The only problem is the spread, but I could do the 620 risk. Yeah, with wicks, Jordan, it's just about wicks. It's just about if it's a down wick, it means buying pressure a lot of the times. If it's an up wick, it means selling pressure. It's kind of how I view wicks. Is AMRN still running? Yeah, I mean, a lot of times people are just hating just to hate. A lot of the people that are hating on it, Paul, they have it's a conflict of interest for them. Like they promote like another broker, like say they promote SureTrader or SpeedTrader, and then they hate on TradeNet because a lot of people are going over to TradeNet, and so, I mean, it's not without flaw. Of course, there's flaws. Like my biggest pet peeve is that some penny stocks are not tradable. Like that's the biggest thing I have a problem with. But I think it's the pros are worth the cons. You know, like the fact that I can short anything that's tradable on there, and the fact that the commissions are so cheap makes it worth it for me. All right, so LGPC is up here now. Kind of a low volume stock right now though, so if I'm gonna get in, I want the spread to even out a little bit. All right, I got in with 100 shares there. Maybe consider adding it, but my risk is tight at 620 or so. Yeah, pretty good fills. It all depends. Like limit order, you're not going to get filled well. Um, it's just you got to use market orders on TEFs, which is okay. I mean, the fills on market orders are pretty good. Limit orders, you're not going to get filled really good. I don't really suggest using a limit order on or a market order on a conventional broker, but with TEFs, it's not that bad. Only problem I'm a little bit worried about LJPC is the volume right now. The volume is just a little bit low. I don't hate it, but volume's just a little low for me. Like I said, risk is about right here at 21 or so. I think that's a reasonable risk area. And until the market starts looking good, I'm probably back down to small sizing until I finish back testing the opening range setup. But yeah, if you're interested in using TradeNet, I'll post the link again. Yeah, there goes AMD breaking that 1940 level. Yeah, it's kind of how I am as well with Tef's. I mean, I don't think Tef's platform is bad, Paul, but I definitely like using Thinkorswim more. I think I'm just used to Thinkorswim. I've used them for years, and so I'm just used to their charting. Yeah, AMD testing that 1940 level again. Big move up. Looks like it was probably a good exit for me, I think. It's got that major resistance here that it just broke. So I usually start it up at around 8 or at 9 at 8:40 market time, jury. I started up at about 8:40 market time. I close it down at probably like 11 o'clock market time usually. Maybe a little bit earlier or later every day. But I don't keep it going all day. I don't trade all day. I usually trade the first 2 hours and then I'm done. But yeah, there goes AMD. Luke. Hey, brother. The problem with that, though, the problem with that, Luke, is that if I sit in front of a screen, I'm going to want to trade. And I know that's not where my edge is. My edge is in the first 2 hours of the market. And so, like, I know that, like, if I stay in front of the market, I'll probably end up trading when I shouldn't be. And so, I know, brother, but to be honest, probably not, man. Netron. Tell her we said hi, Carolina. Just test afternoon strategies. We need you. I mean, I don't know, man. I got some work I gotta do today, bro. Nice, Dylan. Good work, brother. Eric. Yeah, we get people in the chat like that all the time, Eric. They're like, buy this stock now. And then when I don't buy it, they're like, why didn't you buy it? How dare you not buy this stock? I'm calling out, you know? And I'm just kind of like, all right, random internet person. Everybody buy Apple, yeah. I mean, we get it a lot, man. We get people trying to pump up their stocks, getting mad at me if I don't buy their stocks. We get it all the time, man. I wonder what happened to that dude. He was in here pumping up Apple that day. And his logic was that if we all buy Apple, Apple's going to go up. And I had to kind of break it down. Like the float on Apple's like 4 billion or something crazy, like 4 billion. And so even if everybody bought Apple, we wouldn't make it move at all. And he didn't understand. He got mad. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Gene. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, it all depends on the float, Dylan. Like if it's a low float stock, maybe so. But like if it's Apple, no way. Like maybe a low float stock you can make it move, but like Apple with billions and billions of shares, You know, even if everybody in this room bought 1,000 shares of Apple, it probably wouldn't make it move a penny. You know, right? And he didn't understand. You know, which is important for traders to understand float size. You know, float is the total amount of outstanding shares that is available to the public, right? And so the smaller the float, the easier it is to make that stock move. But if it has like a huge float, which is like billions, you're not going to make it move no matter how much you want to. Yeah, I guess so, Luke. Yeah, I mean, I think this one's just free. I think a lot of people charge for theirs, and I think this one's just free. I think people watch it because I'm honest. Like, I show my account balance, I show my trades. They got a lot of other ones, but they never really show everything. They kind of hide everything. And then if they have a losing day, they'll post the trade later after the stream's closed where you can't really verify it and say, look how much money I made today. When really it's like, dude, you're not showing people your account balance. You're not showing people your profit and loss. You're not showing people anything. You're just pretending. Eyebrow guy. Man, look at AMRN go though, man. I see some people talking about AMRN, but man, look at this thing move. Right, for sure. One of the prettiest moves today, really though, was CGC with this VWAP bounce though. Look at this VWAP bounce here. Even on the 5 minute chart, it's pretty. Let's see what the 1 minute chart looks like. Yeah, even this 1 minute chart was pretty on CGC. Look at that bounce, man. Perfect VWAP bounce. What's her name did? Man, let me find her. Somebody did in the chat. I can't remember what her name was. Oh, Elizabeth. Elizabeth bought PHUN. There you go. Yeah, there she is. Hey, you can retire now, Elizabeth. Somebody explain to me what PHUN is. I have no idea. First time I'm hearing about it was Elizabeth here. Um, does TradeNet offer more stocks than U stock trade? I mean, it's been a while since I used U stock. No, they don't. But U stock trade restricts more stocks. So like technically you can trade more stocks on U stock trade, but they'll limit it with like what they call limited liquidity. Like they'll limit it the stock. They'll limit the stock with limited liquidity, and so it's really tough to trade certain stocks. And a lot of times they're the big movers in the market. All right, there you go. LJPC pulling back down to 6. We'll see if we get a nice fade here from it. But man, last night was a crazy night for my son, man. My son, has anybody ever heard of the nursery rhyme about the old lady who swallowed the fly? And it goes, "Old lady swallowed the fly, I guess she died." My son is like 5. He just turned 5, and he is obsessed with that song, probably because it's a little morbid for a 5-year-old. And he woke up like 5 times last night saying that he can't stop thinking about the old lady who swallowed the fly and died. And so we had to let him sleep downstairs, but man, didn't get that much sleep last night. Yeah, right, Netron. My son is obsessed with it for some reason. He's obsessed with it. It makes no sense, you know. And yeah, he just keeps singing it. He's scared of it. It's probably kind of morbid for him. But here we go. Here's a nice drop in LJPC. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Baby Shark. Ugh, I hate that song. Yeah, just get him used to it. Sid, just get him used to it, man. PHUN, I gotta look at it. Too many people talking about it. Yeah, wow. Look at that move. How many shares did you buy, Elizabeth? Crazy. No, my daughter is kind of like the same thing. I didn't force her to watch it two-way, but my daughter and I watched, what is it, Rise of the Titans, about Greek mythology. Battle of the Titans, Rise of the Titans, whatever it is. My daughter and I watched that the other day, and now she says she has bad thoughts about it. And so, man, I told my wife, my parents used to let me watch Judge Dredd when I was like 5. And I can remember watching Judge Dredd by myself when I was like 5 or 6, you know. My mentality is you kind of got to get them used to it. It's life, you know. They got to be used to it. If you try to hide it from kids, like if you try to keep them from it, then they're going to be obsessed with it when they get older. And you don't want them to be obsessed with it. You want them to just, you know, you want them to have some type of introduction to stuff like that so they're used to it and not obsessed with it when they get older. Because if you keep something from a kid, they're going to be obsessed with it when they get older, and it's going to be worse. $1,500 times 80. What does that mean in share size? Yeah, man. Judge Dredd. That's my movie, man. That's my movie. The new one was good too. Well, I was up some on it, LJPC. Now it's kind of bouncing back some, which isn't really what I wanted, obviously. I'm still going to hold it to my risk level. I might hold it to break even now. It just depends. 1,500 at $80. That's a crazy, crazy move. Yeah, you're probably rich now. Funny story, I moved to the coast when I was 12, so I watched The Exorcist when I was super young, and I just watched the new one that came out before I moved there. I was from the Valley and never felt. Yeah, man. Exorcist will do it, man. I'm still kind of scared of The Exorcist. My wife is, too. My wife's cool, though. My wife's kind of afraid of the dark, though, you know? Like, if it's dark, my wife will, like, run out of the room. Paul, an earthquake. So one night it scared me, and I hopped up and grabbed a Bible and ran to the living room. Yeah, you were ready, huh? You were ready to solve it. Yeah, crazy move for PHUN. Yeah, I'm not really well versed in PHUN. I don't really know anything about it. Yeah, for sure. That's one of those moves where you're kind of making everybody jealous in here, Elizabeth. I'm kind of jealous. What's AMD at? I'm sure AMD's spiking up now, right? Yep. Yeah, I think that exit on AMD was good. I think it made sense. $80, Luke. $80. It's a good entry. Yeah, one day, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. I'm happy for you, really. Like, I'm happy anybody that can make that gain. You know, I'm happy for you. Any PT popping up on my scanners here. I haven't traded any PT in a long time. But it's popping up. Yeah, I didn't know either charts. I mean, I believed her. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what kind of move it. I didn't know the extent of that move, which was crazy. Honestly, Todd, I kind of looked at washout longs on AMD and it had pretty good results. So like if you look at AMD, anytime it does a washout long, right? Like here, like yesterday, AMD had a pretty washout long. Or no, the ninth. Yeah, yesterday it had a pretty washout long on a 1 minute chart. Here, it had a nice washout long on the 7th on a 1 minute chart. Beautiful follow through. Here, it had a washout long. Decent follow through. Here, it had a washout long on the 28th. Nice follow through there. And so I was kind of looking at washout longs on AMD. And red to green moves. Here's a washout long on the 18th. Follow through. So like I haven't seen any washout longs that have really failed without getting at least 1-to-1 on it on AMD. This one failed. So that's 1 out of what, 5? 1 out of 5 failed on AMD in the last month. Here's another one. Followed through really nicely. 1 out of 6. So washout longs have been looking promising, really, on AMD at least. Washout long is like when the stock drops at the open and then reverses and comes back. So like, some people call it a red to green move. So like this is a washout long. Like it drops, pulls back, breaks that previous high of the day right here, and then just continues back up. Like that's a washout long. And it's like I said, I just kind of looked at it over a month's time frame. It doesn't happen that often on AMD at least, but over a month it worked. It worked 5 out of 6 times. So better than 80% accuracy. But honestly, I consider today a success just from the data I've gotten from the market at this point. Like just the data I've gotten from it, where it's like using the SPY, I can hold to my risk, but if it's above my, if it's right around my entry or above my entry and it breaks the opposing end on the SPY, I can get out. And I think that's good data to have because this ended up reversing. I'm really glad that I got out where I did. At least for now. I mean, I would only hold it to 11. I doubt it'll drop back down before 11, but we'll see. But overall, I'm happy with that. I'm glad I got that data from it because I think that makes a lot of sense with AMD and the SPY specifically. Like if it's above my entry level, then I can look at the SPY to see what the SPY is doing, and if the SPY starts to reverse, then I can get out. And if the SPY breaks the high of the day, I can get out. But I think it makes sense. 53 million, Luke. Let's see. Let's get a calculator out here. So it went from 80 to what? 470, okay? And she bought 1,500 shares. So 1,500 shares times $1. Oh, wait. Would be 150,000 times what? 470? It'd be 705,000 is what she would be up. Yeah, I think my math is right. So if you buy 1,500 shares at 80 times 1,000, oh, it wouldn't even be that much. It would be, since she got in at 80, it would be about, well, 1,500 shares times 100. 150,000 times 4 is what it would be, which was 600,000. Yeah, it's something like that in Duro. It's roughly 600,000. The only problem is with like PHUN with the volume like it is, like it would be kind of hard to get out anywhere. You know, the spread's huge. Well, there's right here. I mean, this printed at 474. If she's just rounding. PHUN is a cryptocurrency? Kind of bummed out I didn't take a profit. I started to take a profit on LJPC, but it bounced back, and now it's kind of up here. I'm still going to hold to my 620 risk. I'm not really worried about that. I'm so confused on what PHUN is right now. Some people saying it's a cryptocurrency. Some people saying it's a app developer security. I don't know what it is. I mean, there's this. She could have gotten in here. Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I tend to believe her. I don't know, though. I mean, yeah, hey, if you did it, you did it. I'm happy for her. For sure. A little jealous, but happy for her. NBEV had a nice little bounce here, too. All right, so we got two definitions of fun. Funware, formerly Stellar Acquisition. The third is engaged in managing, monetizing mobile audiences through multi-screen as a service (MAAS) platform. Funware, a leading enterprise cloud platform for mobile, which provides software solutions, data, and services for brands worldwide. Yeah, I guess it's a cloud software. Kind of bummed out. I was gonna take some at 590, and it just didn't get there by 1 penny. All right, it's starting to squeeze up here. Like I said, I like that 621 risk, tight risk. Okay, so they haven't issued a cryptocurrency. All right, two-way. Good work today, brother. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Mitch will be here tomorrow, too. I think it's more of like an investing move, Luke. So if you're going to invest in it, that's kind of what I see from it. But like I said, I'm pretty oblivious to anything PHUN. Yeah, they put out a press release that said they were going to issue their first cryptocurrency fund coin, moving into the alluring blockchain sector. Yeah, so the way I plan to approach it, Adam, is to get out at 11. If it doesn't stop me out, or if the SPY doesn't go against me, I plan to get out at 12 p.m. market time, actually. Because a lot of times stock starts to reverse right at around 12. And so, yeah, but I like the data I got from it today. Just because if the SPY starts to go the opposing way, most of the time this is going to reverse. And so I like the way I kind of approached it today, to where I can look at the SPY, see if the SPY is going to correlate with it. And if it does, or if it goes against me, I can get out and minimize my risk, which is what I did today, which makes sense to me. And I think that probably will be how I approach it. Had a great call on AMD at 1943. Yeah, I saw you calling that one out, Charts. Don't stress it, though, bro. Just back test it so you can get it next time. But really glad I was able to kind of minimize the risk in this trade. All right, Tony, have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll probably end up closing it down now. We'll see what LJPC does. I mean, it's past 10. I got to make a video updating on the results from this move. So have a good day, all. I'll see you all a little bit later. Like I said, go check out TradeNet if you're interested in using the broker Mitch uses. And yeah, check out Trade Ideas. They're cool enough to let me stream their scans every day. And so really awesome scanner, really versatile, allows me to do a lot of different stuff and build my own scans for it. So go check out Trade Ideas as well. I'll update you all on what happens with this LJPC trade. I'm kind of break even right now. Just going to let it work, get to my risk. But yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, all. We'll see you all a little bit later. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I day trade live on stream every weekday morning. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see me day trade live every weekday morning. And if you want to do me a favor and help support this channel, if you appreciate this content, click the like button right now on this video. It does help support us. I appreciate any support we can get. So click the like button if you want to help support us. And yeah, have a good day, all. We'll see you all a little bit later.